Hey Valley Middle, welcome back to another math lesson. Today we're going to explore finding factors for a number, but before we do that, let's look at something fun. The trivia question for the day: what size shirt does Clark Kent or Superman wear? Let's get back to the target officially. Our target is 4.1a. I can find the factors of a whole number. Let's do this thing. There are 100 rocks in your collection. If you want to divide the collection up into piles, how many different combinations of piles can you make if the piles always have to have the same number of rocks? Well, you could get the rocks and you could kind of start sorting them out and looking for even numbered piles and figure out how many piles there were. Or you could simply find the factors and the factor pairs for that number. So that's what I did here. I took and broke 100 down and up into its factors, and I found that you could have that one pile of 100 that the kid started with, or you could have two piles of 50, 4 piles of 25, 5 piles of 20, or 10 piles of 10. Finding factors is a very important mathematical skill, and it shows a lot of number sense if you can do it. I'm going to try to give you some hints on how to do that today. First of all, some must-know words. Factors, those are the numbers that you can multiply together to get another number. For example, 1 and 24 are factors. They can multiply together to equal 24. 2 and 12 are factors of 24. As a matter of fact, all of these numbers are factors of 24 because you can multiply them together with another number and get 24. The factor pairs, and I've listed them down here for you, those are two numbers that are multiplied together. So 1 and 24 are a factor pair. 2 and 12 are a factor pair of 24. 3 and 8, and 4 and 6. So generally when we ask you for things, we'll ask you for the factors. You can just make a nice organized list like that, put them in numeric order, and then the factor pairs you group together, just like a pair of pants. 1 and 24 would be the two members of the pair. All right. There are some important factor rules to know that I'm sure you've heard these before, but I'll demonstrate them as I go through. There's just a lot of things that you can do with these rules. Knowing that 1 goes into every number as well as the number itself. That 2 goes into all even numbers. 3 goes into a number if the sum of the digits is a multiple of 3. So take a look at 123. 1 plus 2 plus 3 equals 6. So 6 is a multiple of 3. And 6 is a multiple of 3, so 3 is a factor of 6. 4 goes into a number if the last two digits are a multiple of 4. For example, 116. Well, 4 goes into 16 here. It's a multiple of 16. So, therefore, 4 will go into 116. I said that backwards. 4 goes into 16. 16 is a multiple of 4. 5 goes into numbers that have 0 or 5 at the end. And that's pretty easy when the kids know. But try to remember these other ones. 6 goes into a number if both 2 and 3 are factors. Very handy rule that kids forget all the time. 8 goes into a number if the last 3 digits are a multiple of 8. We don't do this often because we don't often ask you to find the numbers or the factors of a 3-digit or 4-digit number, but I know that 8 is a factor of 400 and a factor of 16, so I know also then that 8 will be a factor of 1,416 or 2,416 because these last 3 digits 8 goes into. 9 goes into a number if the sum of the digits is a multiple of 9. Take a look at 198. 1 plus 9 is 10 plus 8 is 18. 18 is a multiple of 9, so 9 is a factor of 198. 10, of course, goes into all numbers that end in 0. Some other important rules and to know about when factoring. These are some of the stop rules, and I've developed these over the years with Ms. Goldman and Ms. Holman. We've made this list that's really helped kids, and so I'd like to give them a little shout out. Tara, you want to come give a shout out? This is my daughter Tara. Say hi. Hi. She's in Ms. Holman and Goldman's 4th grade classroom right now, getting educated. Educated. I sound like George Bush. All right, here we go. Some important rules that we've developed. You've got to have a system for finding the factors so you don't miss any. Start with 1 and the number, and then go to 2 and 3 and so on, checking each digit until they arrive back in the middle. Just make sure you've got them all. When you have two factors that are back to back, you're done. For example, for 20, you got 1 and 20, then you ended up with 2 and 10, and when you hit 4 and 5, you're done. When you find a factor pair that has a number that repeats itself, you're done. For example, for 16, you got 1 and 16, then you found 2 and 8. 3 doesn't go into it, but 4 and 4 do. Here's a repeating factor. You're done finding them. You got them all. No factor other than the number itself is bigger than half. So when you look at 100, you got 1 and 100. 50 is the second one, 2 and 50. No number, no factor will be bigger than 50. If a number is a factor, all numbers that are factors of that number are also factors. Take a look at this. 12 is a factor of 24, so all the numbers that are factors of 12 are also factors of 24. This one here I'm going to show you as I work through examples. It comes in really handy. Are there other rules that you can add to this list? I hope so, and you can bring them back and we can add them to our list. So there's several ways to find factors, but I think most importantly, you have to be efficient and you have to be accurate. So one way of finding those is to use a number chart. Let me just grab myself a highlighter here and we'll find the factors for 72. All right, we'll stay organized. 1 and 72. Absolutely. 1 in the number itself. It's an even number, so 2 will go in there. 2 times 35 is 70, so that'll be 36 right here. 2 times 36. Let's see, 72. 7 plus 2 here is 9, so I know that 3 will go in there. 3 times 25, 3/4 is 75, so it's got to be 24. Uh-oh, now I know a whole bunch of numbers that go into 24, so I got a whole bunch of other factors like 4 and 6. All right, so 4 is going to go in there because it's a factor of 24. I just have to figure out how many times. I know it's going to be less than 24 though, because these numbers keep moving closer to each other. Let's see, so 4 times 10 would be 40. That's way too small. How about 4 times 15 would be 60. That's too small. 4 times 20, that's 80. That's too big. How about 4 times 18? Let me check. 4 times 10 is 40. 4 times 8 is 32, and there's my 72. 5 doesn't go in there. Doesn't end in 0 or 5. 6 will go in there because I know it's 24 goes in. So let's see. Somewhere between 7 and 17. Well, 6 tens is 60. That's too small. 6 elevens is 66. 6 12s. Yes, I'm getting really close now. 7 doesn't go in there because 7 goes into 70, so it couldn't fit in 72. 8 will go in there 9 times, and now I've got my stop rule there. So I got your factors over here. You've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 9, 12, 18, 24, 36, and 32, 72. I just read those really quickly. And you also have your factor pairs. You can go back and pair them up. Here and here, here and here, they just start moving closer and closer to each other. I think this is a very effective method, but it's hard to do without a chart. So if a chart's available, knock yourself out. If not, I think this next method called the factor tree or ye old flying V is going to be better. With ye old flying V, you take and write the number here, 36. Let me get my cursor back. And you just start putting number lines out like this. Well, we know that 1 will go in there 36 times. Then you make another V because we know that 2 will go in there 18 times. And we know that 3 will go into 36 because 3 plus 6 is 9. So 3 will go in there 12 times. And then 4 will go in there 9 times because you can use your fingers to figure that out. And you notice this happens a lot. I just ran out of room, so I just make a real long skinny one. 6 will go in there 6 times. And there's that repeating factor so that I know I'm done. So 6 and 6. You end up with your factors for ye old flying V, as I like to call it, of 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 9, 12, 18, and 36. Hopefully I got those all written down correctly. And the factor pairs, 1 and 36, 2 and 18, 3 and 12, 4 and 9, and 6 and 6. Sometimes I can miss one in the factors because I skip a number when I'm writing them down. But when I do the factor pairs, I rarely miss them because I'm thinking about them as I do it. 1 and 36, 2 and 18. It's harder. So I usually do them both, make sure I've got everything, and then see what they're asking for. I think this method is fast, effective, and efficient. All right, I'm going to have you try a couple of flying V's here. See if you can find the factors and the factor pairs for 42. Go ahead and pause it and do it for me. Okay, I'm back. Let's see how you did. I had 1 and 42, 2 and 21, 3 and 14, and 6 and 7. With my answers over here, I'll pause for a second, let you look at those, make sure you got them right. Nice work. Let's try another one. Slightly bigger number. Let's try doing it for 96. Go ahead and pause. I see dead people. Yeah, I like doing that. All right, let's check and see your work. All right, this is a big one. I got to scroll way down to get that 96 in. This time I'll look over here and see if you wrote down your factors in the correct order. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 8, 12, 16, 24, 32, 48, and 96. Woo! That's a lot. Factor pairs, 1 and 96, 2 and 48, 3 and 32, 4 and 24, 6 and 16, 8 and 12. If you can factor 96 and do it quickly, you are pretty awesome. That's a big number to do. All right. I think you're ready for the ticket to the show. All right, the ticket to the show. I'd like you to find the factors and the factor pairs for number 30 and number 48. Bring that to school tomorrow, and that will be your ticket into the show. All right, let's get to our just for fun. Oops, I'll pause so you can write those numbers down. Okay. Let's get to the answer to the trivia question. What size shirt does Clark Kent or Superman wear? Well, let's scroll down here. You probably thought XL because he's so buff, kind of like me. Hello. Actually, no. He wears a size small. And how weird is it that he actually has his shirt size right on the front? Embarrassing. All right. Have a good evening. Thanks for watching. Thank you to Miss Goldman.